Hey there, Scott Wilkinson here, editor of AVSforum.com and host of the Home Theater Geeks podcast. I'm talking with Brett Crockett, Vice President of Sound R&D at Dolby. And Brett, what is new with Dolby Atmos these days?
Nice to see you, Scott.
Thank you.
Well, momentum. We're really getting great momentum with cinemas, more cinemas with Dolby Atmos coming out. Also, consumer products at various price points, very affordable price points. That's very exciting. Also, mobile products that support Dolby Atmos, including the Kindle Fire HD, which has been announced before, but we have products with Lenovo, both a cell phone and a mobile.
Now, mobile implies headphones with virtualization of Atmos, right?
Yeah, so it's headphone, but the Lenovo is the first product that actually features Atmos rendering from the speakers in the device. So you get a very compelling 3D experience from the Atmos content through the speakers on the device. So it's very exciting.
You also mentioned in your talk earlier today about the affordability, and you mentioned it just here, that AV receivers with Dolby Atmos are coming way down in price, aren't they?
Yeah, in fact, we've seen one at $499, which is an amazing price for even an AVR in general, and then home theater in a box solutions as well.
Now, one thing you mentioned in your talk today that I found particularly interesting and wished I could have pursued a little further is this whole idea of VR. In games, that makes some sense, right? I mean, it's an immersive environment, you're looking all around. But I've heard a lot of talk recently about movies being made in VR, and Dolby Atmos seems like a perfect complement to that.
Yeah, so when we invented Dolby Atmos, we wanted to make the most realistic sound format, soundtrack that you could possibly get. And it's a natural fit for virtual reality. And we're working actually with a virtual reality company that's producing linear VR movies. And so that's Jaunt VR. And so we're creating solutions with them so that you can get an Atmos experience from a Jaunt VR movie.
Boy, making a VR movie seems very difficult to me because you can look all around. Normally the director focuses your attention where they want it to, but you can focus your attention anywhere. Have you experienced anything from Jaunt in terms of linear VR movies? Is it compelling?
So they have one demo which they created with the Paul McCartney concert live at Candlestick, and that's very compelling because you can actually stand on the stage and you can actually look around. You can watch Paul play piano or watch his drummer play the drums, and it's very, very compelling. But with the linear VR movie content, they're using sound to direct your attention. So you think that you're exploring the space, but the director can now cue you to look over here, and there might be a monster behind you.
And that's where Atmos comes in, of course, because you can play sounds anywhere within the... They call it 360 degrees. It's actually more than that. It's 360 spherical degrees.
Exactly.
Yeah. Any thought about putting speakers in the floor to really? Because at the moment you've got a 2-pi rather than a 4-pi environment.
So headphone virtualization, having sounds below the floor is actually a natural part of that. And so that is something that we handle as well, because with headphones you're not as limited by the physics of the real world, of course, as you are with speakers. So yeah.
And what about titles coming out in Atmos? I know they keep coming out in theaters, and we have how many Blu-rays now?
So we have 14 announced Blu-rays for 2015. More to come. The latest film is Adeline in Dolby Atmos.
Well, it's certainly a wonderful experience in the theater and at home. I've heard them both, and just the total immersion within the sound field, the spherical sound field, is quite wonderful. And I applaud Dolby for being a pioneer in this whole area.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to add?
I'm really excited by the uptake and the awareness that consumers have of Dolby Surround, which allows you to take all your legacy content, whether it's music or movies, 5.1 or stereo, and upmix that to the full Atmos experience. On the forum, lots of people have complimented us on that, and that really makes me proud.
Yeah, and particularly since until there's more Dolby Atmos content, that becomes a really critical factor. And I'm glad to know that by your estimation, the awareness of that is growing.
Yes, yeah, it's very exciting.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for talking with us.
Thank you, sir.